Howdy, it's Jace. Today I'd love to talk about time and priorities. I often hear I don't have enough time for the things I want to do, or the ways I want to grow, or for my recovery or family, or whatever it is. I don't have enough time is the number one excuse I hear in the growth journey and the recovery journey as well. So let's just discuss that real quick. No one has time. You allocate time however you want, however you see fit. You decide where time goes. No one has more time, no one has less time. We all have the same amount of time, and it's up to you to allocate where it goes. That's where priorities come into play. Two ways to look at priorities. One, you can ask yourself, what are my top priorities? And let me put out, if you have more than three, you have no priorities. Priorities mean that they are things you are putting above everything else. If you have 10 things, you have no things. You dig it? So you can ask yourself, what are my top three priorities? Like if everything else was going to be thrown into a fiery abyss, what would be the three things in my life I would hang on to? Maybe that's family, maybe it's work, maybe it's your health, maybe it's your recovery, maybe it's a dream you're growing. It could be your own business, it could be your relationships, whatever. It could be any number of things that are unique to you. So you can pick those things and create a schedule accordingly, making sure that those top three things are being prioritized because they're your top priorities, and stick with that schedule. That's really hard for a lot of people because we're not here with a blank slate. We already have a life built up around, right? So another way to do it that's maybe more practical, maybe a little more realistic, is to track your time throughout the week. Where is it going? Just for 1 week, kind of make a little log of what you're doing and the time you're spending on it. Then add up the time for each category and the places where you're spending the most time. Those are your priorities right now. They might not be what you want as your top priorities. You might say, that's not my priority. Well, it is, because you're putting all of your time there. With that information, then you can decide, what do you want to do? Do you want to keep that time there? Does it need to be there right now? Can you cut back in any ways and move some time over here? If you don't know where your time's going, you can't make any changes. You can't be designing and building the life you want to build. You have to have awareness. Awareness is number one. So track it for the next week. See where you're spending your time. And then you get to make decisions on if you want to keep doing that, you want to ditch it altogether, or you want to make a few adjustments here or there. And maybe start small. You don't have to, throw out the whole thing. You can pick one area and say, I'd like to start working on that a little bit more. I think I'd like 5 more hours with my family a week. Let's find it in this schedule where I'm putting my time. It doesn't sound fun. And if you're not like a numbers charts kind of person, it might not be fun, but so what? Do it anyway. It's happening. Those are where your hours are going, whether you know it or not. So know it, and then make decisions. Then you're consciously living. Then you are in charge of your life. Then you're building the life that you want. If you want to check out ways to work with me directly, you can head to my website to find things both paid and free. Subscribe or like this page so that you are able to continue getting this content. And if you need to get a hold of me, you can do so on my website as well. See you next time.